Totally confused. All right. Why? Why would I be confused? Okay, here we go. Good morning. I am here today. All right. Okay. If you're going to join me on Zoom, rats, am I on the wrong call? No, I'm not on the wrong call. Maybe I am. We're going to keep it on this call until I figure out what call I'm supposed to be on. Okay, let's do that. Invite, copy invitation. Invitation has been copied. I'm going to post that here in YouTube. Here's the link. There we go. All right, so hey, good morning, everyone. My name's Crystalline, and I am doing Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon. We're talking about heart-centered entrepreneurship, and I'm working with heart-centered entrepreneurs to help them basically set up whatever their thing is. So I've got a few people that are joining me at some point. Haha, little softer lighting, will temper the mood a little bit. So look, I am here and I'm going to just wait for my friends to show up. But one of the things that I notice is going on, particularly with myself, and I'm not sure if you're experiencing this, but the sun has moved into Cancer, and we just had a new moon in Cancer a few days ago, like a week ago. So the sign of Cancer, oh, and Mercury is retrograde and Venus is retrograde. So if you're like me and you really rely on your mind to bring you information, you're screwed. Because right now it is really hard for our minds to grasp logical things that are supposed to make sense to us. What I've noticed in myself, first of all, I started off this Sun in Cancer season with really high emotions. And actually, my emotions started about 3 days before the sun moved into Cancer. And I have been mellowing out considerably, but the first 3 to 5 days have been hellish. My feelings have been up, and then my mind has been really resistant to my feelings, and I've been very much caught up in subconscious dynamics that have been absolutely just painful, just painful. And I've done some work with that, a lot of praying, a lot of sitting with emotions, a lot of explorations of how I feel. But what I'm left with now is a brain that refuses to get focused, sharp, and clear. My brain is rebelling against my entire system. And all I can really do is just kind of go with this randomness of I'm going over here, I'm going over there, I'm going to start this, I'm going to start that, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to be distracted by a whole bunch of things. And the reason my brain is doing this, and you might be experiencing the same thing, is that when the sun moves into Cancer, um, things just go haywire. When the sun moves into Cancer, the mind, the conscious self, goes into avoidance mode as the subconscious self comes forward. So the subconscious self comes through in obscure ways, such as emotions. Um, we have like a rise in subtle emotions. And you would think, okay, well, if they're rising, they're not so subtle. But actually, what it is just an amplification of really, really deeply hidden feelings that are really hard to trace. So even if you're someone like me who loves feeling her feelings, it's really difficult to feel these feelings because it's almost more like a tone that takes over. It's not an identifiable mood. So, what I end up feeling is a sense of angst, or a sense of doom, or a sense of dread, or a sense of this underlying anxiety. So, what I want to say is that maybe during this period for you, maybe just allow yourself, first of all, I like to tell God what's on my mind. I like to sit down at the edge of my bed. I get on my hands and knees and I say, "Look, God, look, do you not see me here? Are you not my ally in this life?" And I just kind of say the truth of how I'm feeling, which is, I'm super frustrated right now and I'm trying to get work done. I don't want to ask for much in this moment except a connection to you. Let me see you in this moment and then I'm going to be all right. And so usually it's by going through this act of walking to my bed, getting on my hands and knees, leaning in and closing my eyes and doing this prayer that it starts to change my whole dynamic. So I want to suggest that you start off with some kind of a physical, mental, spiritual action that you can take that can make you get on board with something else. Now, usually while I'm in the act of doing this, there's a part of my mind, this is particularly right now, my inner critic comes up and says, "This is not good enough. You need a deep, long 2-hour meditation, and you need to drink green juices and purify because you have a demon inside you." And that is the overly dramatic inner critic that I have, which goes from one extreme to another. You know, I have an inner drama queen, and when I'm not exercising her by giving her creative projects where she can be really dramatic and woe is me and I'm a victim and the world is coming to an end. If I don't give her that space, she comes out in my regular life. So, what I have to do when I go into this praying mode will bring her up, but it also weakens her, it tones her down a little bit. So, again, by finding whatever simple practice, this practice needs to be simple, accessible, and doable for you in the moment, and something that you can kind of get behind, um, that you can get behind now. Also, you need something that you can trust. I trust God to the extent that I can throw him, right? So I can't pick up God and throw him 1,000 miles away. I can pick up God and I can toss him like that, like, mm, right? Mm. And what that is, I know this is sounding ridiculous. I know it. But what this does is it means that I can trust God to the extent that my mind can analyze God and believe. Trust is really important. Faith is really important for every heart centered entrepreneur. And you have to understand the length of your trust. You have to understand how much trust and faith you can put into a moment. And I would love to be able to say, I trust God. I have 100% faith in God. And many people say that, but they don't act like it, right? They'll say, like, "Oh, I trust God." And yet I'm afraid of Donald Trump, and I'm afraid of this, and I'm afraid of that, and I'm afraid of this, and that over there scares me, and I'm not going to do that because this might happen. Like, people don't really put their money where their mouth is. I know myself, and so what I tend to do is to say, look, this is how much faith I can have in God. So I'm going to work with that faith. There are times when I have like total surrender. But when my mind is acting crazy like this and I've got deadlines and I've got fears about running out of money, I don't want to like start dipping into my savings, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to Italy in a month, and I don't know if this is going to be right, and when these kinds of questions are floating around and they are influencing my real world, I don't want to try to act like I have utter faith through that when I don't. When I do have utter faith, I'm in it and I'll share that with you. But right now, I'm not in that headspace. And one of the reasons why I'm not in that headspace is because the sun is in Cancer. Cancer is the sign of fear. It's ruled by the moon. It's the sign of shadows and emotions and things that are hidden. And it is perfectly normal during this time to feel a lot of fear and to have your deeply rooted subconscious fears come up so that they can be dealt with and so that you can kind of grow from them. So it's perfectly fine to be, acknowledging I got fear right now. So, in order to help you move forward during this time, again, having the practice of going to your bedside, praying on your hands and knees, talking to God, helps to get your body and your mind on board, and it helps you deal with the fear. Now, for me, again, I said I can only trust God this much right now because this is how much I can actually like recognize and get my head around. So, part of my um self love and self care is to honor my feelings and then to tell God how I really feel and to pause for a moment and to listen to his response. I'm telling you right now, this week, the moment is literally going to be, God, tell me what you have to say in 5 seconds. My concentration is only 5 seconds long this week, I'm not saying that I'm going to let myself be this way forever. I'm just saying that for the next week, my concentration is 5 seconds, not 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So my meditation looks like this. All right, I'm out of here. Okay. And then I'm up and on to the next thing. Was that even 5 seconds? That was probably three. Because I felt the pressure of, look, you're in the middle of a podcast. Don't fucking do a 10-second meditation. You got 3 seconds. The point is, you must learn to love yourself and meet yourself where you are and nurture yourself along. You cannot expect your spirit guides or God or Saturn or the sun or the moon to carry you when you aren't willing to be carried. This is about being receptive. And so, what I'm telling you is there are times when I'm only this receptive, and there are times when I am like open and super receptive. You just have to accept where you are and learn how to love yourself during those times. One of the worst things that you can do is to force yourself to be where you're not. And that's like forcing a 5-year-old to be, um, it's like forcing a 5-year-old child to go into a second grade classroom and sit down like the second graders. It just isn't going to happen. And it's not fair to even ask the 5-year-old to just like show up and like, okay, look, no, no, we're all sitting. We're all just sitting. No, no, you have to just sit. Okay, you just have to sit. You have to sit and listen. Teachers talking, doesn't work that way. All right. I'm going on. I've got Miss Susan here. Hi, Susan. That's Dr. Susan.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Are you at the tea shop?
No, I had to leave. Everybody was coming in and it was like chaos. It was
Yeah.
lovely chaos. And then I switched to this other little cafe that I love. Um, and it totally filled up. I arrived, I was like the only one there. And seriously, every table filled up. And it's like, I'm good for
S-
business.
Right. Apparently. So what town are you in?
I'm in Sarajevo.
Oh, so you're in Sarajevo. You're in a city. I
Yep,
thought that, okay, so I thought that you left the place where you were
I did.
and you tried to cross a border.
I did. I tried and failed. And
And so
then I
you went all
decided,
the way back to Sarajevo?
I mean, it's a 2 hour bus ride. It's not far.
Okay.
So I went from
Okay.
Mostar back to Sarajevo just because Sarajevo, um, it's bigger and a lot more happening. And also I can get a really nice Airbnb for like $10 a night, like whole apartment. And in
Ooh,
Mostar it's like 25.
wow.
I have like a
20.
whole beautiful apartment.
Ooh, it looks nice. I mean, just I'm seeing
Yeah.
behind you, I
I
see
mean,
some art on the walls. I
there's
see some
like,
furniture.
yeah, it's nice. And then there's a kitchen through there and a whole separate
Nice.
bedroom,
Very
balcony.
good.
It's really,
Very good. Very good. I've never been to Bosnia. I bet it's beautiful though. The pictures you posted were really, really lovely. So very good. Hey, Christina, good morning. How are you? Oh, she looks like she just woke up. No, you've been up. You look relaxed. Are you voiceless? Are we not talking? We are not. We are
Back to
signing.
the Zoom page. I wasn't on the Zoom page.
Hey, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
So, I've just been I've just been spouting about how stuck I am. How
Oh,
my brain is like this.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and dealing with that. So, let's check in with you all and see where you are and see where you want to work on. I know that, and this is Mercury retrograde, by the way. Bex wrote me at 7:30. She's like, I can't get onto the call. I'm like, yeah, 7:30. Call don't start till 8. And I noticed also that Cora couldn't get on, like she's been trying to log in. So I'm not sure of this is maybe this is Sun in Cancer, but it's also Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. Has anybody had any old lovers come back into their lives? Really, Christina? Okay, look,
Mm-hmm.
do tell what's going on.
I hadn't heard from him in like a long, long time, and he messaged me on, was it Facebook or Instagram? I think it was Instagram. It was Instagram, and it came over like in the side messages, like you have to approve it, and I was like, delete.
Oh, good for you. You didn't even entertain it.
I had already been reading on like retrogrades, and it was like your exes will show up, and don't text your ex. I was like, you ain't gotta tell me twice.
Okay. That's right. That's right. Very
Need
good.
that
Good
kind
for
of
you.
drama in my life.
Right? You know what? When the decision is made, and the thing is, Mercury, Venus retrograde is funny because when she comes around, it kind of feels a little bit like kismet, like, kind of like there's an openness, and then she comes in, and then your old lover comes back, and you're like, well, what is this? And I'm like, now the answer is no. Delete. Been
Mm-hmm.
there, done that. We're gonna learn these lessons a different way. Send me a
Mm-hmm.
new lover and let me repeat the patterns and learn the lessons with a new lover, but not with the old ones. So yeah, I don't blame you one bit, Christina.
I always tell my friends, I believe fully in recycling everything but boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what though? This conversation we had today, Susan, was outstanding because it's really perfect. Because I feel like I need a new approach. Like my old boyfriending was definitely outdated. Like it was it was it didn't serve me. It was not. My old way of doing it was not serving me. My old visioning, my old standards were not serving me. And now I feel like I have a new attitude. I'm like, okay, Susan's list, yes.
I have to fill Christina in. I made a country list of approved countries for dating.
She made an approved list of countries for dating, and normally I go by the signs, but I was thinking about some of this from, it depends. We need to make a chart. We need a chart of a map of the world and the best signs of men from those words. Let's say lovers, because
It should be
it
an
isn't.
algorithm. Are they from this country? Yes. Okay, proceed this. Are they this
Okay.
sign, this sign? Proceed.
But here's my thing. I've dated a lot of Virgos in my life. I've dated Virgos from California. They all looked alike. All the Virgos that I've dated in California had exactly the same profile: red hair, freckles, and Jewish. Okay. Why? I don't know.
So random.
Why? I don't know. Why are they all ginger Jews in California that are Virgos? I don't know. I don't know.
Rare. There are not. In my experience, first of all, redheads are such a small percentage of the whole population to start with. So
Come on. And then on top of it all, two gingers. One is from Argentina. How you gonna be a ginger Jew from Argentina? What? Okay, so I'm just saying that was the California experience. And then though, I date a Virgo from Switzerland, totally not ginger, totally different, and totally different feeling. We had so much fun, this guy and I, like I would go back, I would date him. I'm not mad at Swiss men. I am not mad at Swiss men.
Swiss is an approved country.
Is it? Okay, Switzerland. Swiss is an approved country.
I think Swiss are approved. Switzerland is an approved country. You have the Northern Eastern European just are so much more open-minded about so many things.
Yeah, exactly.
More intellectual.
Yes. Look, this has been my thing. Now,
not everybody. Excuse me, YouTube. That was a generalization, but it's just more common in every country.
When you're talking about dating white men, I'm gonna be just straight up honest with you. If you're gonna date you some white men, get them from Europe. All right, get them from Europe. I'm gonna say it. If you're gonna date white men, get them from Europe. That's it.
I kind of feel like if you're gonna date any men, you might want to.
No, girl. Date you some Africans. If you're gonna date some Africans, have you ever dated an African? An amazing dating experience, especially when you like Senegalese men, Nigerian men. Oh my God, African men can be so beautiful, educated, smart, speaking many languages, elegant. The elegance
is the
elegance, man.
And the amount of languages, you're like, holy moly.
I'm telling you. And the amount and the sophistication, the ability for an African man to walk into a Parisian cafe and sit down in French and just blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah. And, to be able to command and to sit there with that gorgeous Africanness in the middle of a Parisian cafe with all eyes on him because he's beautiful, and you're sitting there with him, and the two of you, just because he's a Gemini, and the two of you, and you're an Aquarius and he's a Gemini, and you two are just like that. Like that. I'm just saying. All right, there you go. I have to say though, I've just never dated a lot of Black American guys just because I grew up in Palos Verdes. There were six of us all together, 6 Black people in Palos Verdes in my high school. And I think it was 3 girls, 3 boys, and we just weren't really just because you're the only Blacks in the school doesn't mean that you guys are naturally gonna get on together, just weren't. And I was antisocial anyway. I didn't have any friends in high school. So I just kind of grew up in a place where there weren't any black people. So I don't know what it's like dating black men from America. Maybe I'll try it, but they don't seem to be all that interested in me. And here I am again, finding myself in Fair Oaks. How many black people around me? Zero. What the fuck? How did I even find myself here? I go looking for a place with trees and no black people here. Amazing. Actually, a black family just moved in on the corner, and they are a beautiful family of people, but no single men. Anyway, this is not dating. It's not dating with Dr. Crystalline, because I am not qualified to give dating advice. I can I can totally I can coach you on how to be forever single, forever single with a dog traveling the world. You ask, I want a Sagittarius man in my life. And God is like, go to Greece. I'm like, okay, go to Greece. And he's like, go to the place where the centaurs are. I'm like, oh, that would make sense. I'm going to go find me a Sagittarius man in Greece. And who do I find? Long-nosed puppy, a long-nosed, malnourished puppy who's like, take me home. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, God, you sent me exactly, because he's a Sagittarius. My dog is a Sagittarius, mind you. So yes, we get what we ask for. Okay. You just have to be really specific. Next time you have to say, he can be from Mozambique and he needs to be well traveled and he needs to be able to command a seat in Paris. Okay. I'm all right with that. All right. So how are you, Susan?
I am no, I am unmuted. Interesting. Interesting. Border stuff just changed again on me, so I might be just hanging out in Sarajevo indefinitely.
Jesus.
I'm
Jesus.
not. Just like,
Wow.
I mean, at this point, it's just laughable. And right now, like, my Facebook feed is like all these people, and I post it. I'm like, hey, I have tried bus, I've tried train, I've tried this, and people are like, hey, there's buses running. I'm like, no, there is not. The website lies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Yes.
a lot of well-meaning people trying to help me, and I'm like, look, unless you have a car and are willing to pick me up, and don't respond to this post.
Right. Can you do what is that service? Cargo. What is it where people, it's the website where
Blah blah car.
blah blah car. Yeah. Blah blah car.
I'm checking daily. No one is going.
Nobody's going.
Checking daily.
Yeah, sure. Wow. Wow, that's so
Everything.
intense.
Yeah, but it's fine because I'll probably
But
just.
wait,
I'll
why aren't
just
you waiting until July or August?
Well, because the borders opened and then they were threatening to close them again, which they kind of have. They've done this first wave of closing them to Bosnia. They've had an increase of cases in
In
Croatia.
Bosnia. Oh, and
Well,
Croatia.
everywhere basically.
Okay.
They had an increase in Croatia and they're blaming it on Bosnians coming there.
So
And so they're
sad.
like,
Oh,
so they're like,
okay.
no more
Right.
Bosnians. So
Okay.
so basically now it was not 14-day quarantine if I cross the border, and today it just changed.
So what's wrong with 14-day quarantine?
Nothing.
You'd be a quarantine at home, right?
Yeah, so I'm still gonna go.
Okay.
But I'll probably just fly now because even though it's crazy expensive to fly, I'm just gonna have to do it.
Yeah. Do you think that the chances of them turning you back from flight are like more?
That's why I didn't want to fly, because I didn't want to spend the high ticket price and then them being like, next flight, you're heading back. And I'm like, buy 2 plane tickets. So
Mhm. Yeah, sure. No, I get it. I get it. It's scary. I've got my flight booked for August 8th. And
the insurance on that?
well, at this point there's no fucking insurance to get because I bought this ticket back in November. This was my original ticket, and at this point, I mean, I don't mind buying another ticket if I have to, but I just need to know where I'm supposed to be. This is what it's coming down to. All right. So
Let's check in with Christina, but she left the room.
Christina's left the room. That's okay. She's probably still listening. So what is it that you want to work on? Hey, cutie.
Leave the room. I was just moving around. I was
Yes. So Susan, with the work, with your business, is there anything that you want to work on or talk about, or you want to get some insight into? What are we doing for you?
I just, you know, it's funny when you were talking at the beginning. I'm sorry, I have to scoot my computer out of the sun. It's getting,
Yeah,
the sun just moved, so I'm trying to like.
not fry.
Hang on, I need to just close. Sitting on the floor. I need to
Mm.
close. It was getting hot.
Okay.
I could hear it getting hot. So
You could hear it getting hot.
well, you know how the fan starts working a little bit more.
Ah, yes. Okay. I'm like, oh, it's sizzling in here. Does it sound like getting hot? Okay, go ahead.
I need to, like, when you're talking about basically your brain being scattered, I've got some really good projects that I need to be working on. And I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just putting out fires. Like as an email comes in from like a patient or something, I'm like, okay, answer that. As this other person, answer that. But I'm not doing the membership launch that I need to do. I'm not doing.
Wait, why?
Just because my brain just feels like.
Right?
Yeah, like when you were talking about that, I'm like, yep, my brain is squirrel on crack.
I'm getting my cards. Hold on.
I thought we weren't doing this. Christina, you're being so still. It looks like you're frozen. She's reading.
Christina, you're a pure Cancer. How are you doing? How's your mind?
I mean, I think I'm used to. I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about, you know, this Cancer energy that they're experiencing, and I'm like, that's my daily life.
Right?
Tears and, you know, crying all the time and feeling sensitive about things and moody, and that's my daily life. So
okay. So it's just normal for you. Okay. I love that. I love that you said that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because now I see, and now I understand your fucking frustration. Okay. Look, here's the thing. And, you know, the thing that I think is important for people who are not Cancers and trying to build a business, you know, Susan, with your, you know, you're trying to launch, right? Do you have a launch date in mind?
I did. It was July 1st, but I think I'm gonna push it back. So I have kind of the pre-launch with like my people that are loyal followers, etc. I'm doing a pre-launch with them, and then doing an official launch.
When is the official launch? When are you moving that to?
I don't know.
October?
Out of Mercury retrograde, is that what you're suggesting?
Well, actually, I might be. No, well, it's not Mercury retrograde, but because what? Okay, so look, I'm being called to restructure my business and the way I'm doing things and to do things at a much higher level. And it takes a lot of time to do that, right? It takes a lot of time. There's a fuck lot of organization, you know. This is the first time that I have actually, this is the first time that I have actually hired writers to, you know, to come into my space. I've never had a writer in my space before, you know, like I've always been the writer, you know, a lot of pride and arrogance around that. And I'm like, wait, now the thing that must happen, I'm moving into a different level of entrepreneurship. And I'm just wondering if you all are there with me, because the thing that's happening right now is I can't be a worker. I cannot do the menial tedious tasks any longer. Christina gets it.
Girl, I'm
Tell
right
me,
here right now. Like
how's that showing up for you?
because I told you that I'm hiring someone.
Yes,
Now
yes.
turned into, I think I want to hire 2 people. But throughout the filtering of the interview process, I have narrowed it down, and there's 3 women who I really, really, really like.
Oh,
So now
excellent.
I'm like, gosh, how do I narrow it down from these 3 women? So I literally, just before I got on this call, sent the 3 of them a message, and I was like, hey, so I really liked you. I had a great time in our interview, but I'm in this weird situation where now I have 3 people. So if you want to like kind of duke it out and work with me over the next week, and let's just kind of see how it goes, I'd be willing to just take all 3 of you on and see how it goes for the next week, and then we'll revisit.
I think that's
And
brilliant. What a great way to work with Mercury retrograde also, because technically, who you hire permanently right now could be and fall down later. So why not slow down the process? Why not go about things differently? You got 3 people, dance with them for another 3 weeks if you can, Christina, and then see what comes, and maybe it will naturally resolve itself, and then maybe someone will fall away and blah blah blah.
that was what I said to Spirit this morning. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna, because I kept wrestling with it, like, how do I, and I was like, okay, what am I concerned about really at the root of it? What is my worry? And it's kind of what you were talking about, having somebody in your space, like really, I've never let anybody into like my business before. So that's a little, not frustrating, frightening, I guess. And then the money aspect of it, like, okay, I had only planned to take on, 1, but I was comfortable. I had settled with 2, and now I have 3. So I'm like, fuck, how do I pay all these people? Can I afford to pay all these people? Well, that means I have to manifest money. And then it went into like this manic manifesting thing. And I was like, no, I need to
Okay, I got a question. Who on this call would really like a big infusion of cash in the next month, in the next 30 days? Okay, Bex is not raising, she is raising her hand. Okay, let's do a reading. We're gonna do a reading here, and I'm gonna do 1 card and just get our collective money message, our collective money message. Rest and rejuvenation, 4 of Swords, rest and rejuvenation. And the message is, let's read it. I'm going to go ahead and just read it. Ooh, let's see, here we go. 3 and 4. It says the card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particularly emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving steadily forward. Allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthier and stronger foundation, enabling you to take the next step. This for me feels really important because, Cancer is the 4th sign of the zodiac, right? And it occupies the 4th house in the astrology wheel. And we're in a number 4 year. So the year 2020 is number 4. For me, this whole year, my view of the number 4 year is about building foundation. It's about creating a sense of safety within ourself, which gets amplified into the world. So the moon and Cancer is about how we feel secure in the world, how we feel safe. And it's very true. This entire year for me, I went into this year with the goal of creating a solid foundation from which I can then build an amazing business, but also an amazing personal life, an amazing romantic life, an amazing health, amazing health, right? So what I want us all to do right now is to write down for ourselves what makes you feel safe. What is it that you need in order to feel safe? I'm going to write on paper. So let's just take a couple of moments and be honest. What do you need to feel safe? Write down 4 things. All right, whenever you're ready. Let's Susan, it looks like you're done, huh? Can you just share with us what your 4 things are?
Um, currently right now to be safe is to like be in Croatia to get to where I'm going, or to have a bit more of a financial security so I know I can navigate whatever happens. So like a little influx of finances, be in Croatia, be able to have like the necessity things that I want available in Croatia, because that's the other thing with things changing so much.
Scarcity.
There's scarcity, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
With that, and then just having my community. Like,
Yes. Very good. Very good. Christina, what about you? And hey, Bex, hi. Happy to see you, darling. We're going to get to you in just 1 second.
I like
Christina.
that Paige Comesso name. That's new and different. The security. What do I need to feel safe? Money in the bank. I would say some sort of kind of some verbal reassurance backed up with actions that show support, that, you know, not just telling me that you got me, telling me that you care for me, but actually doing things that back that up when I
Yes.
need it, not when you need it, you know.
When you want to give it.
Right, right. Like when I actually need it, you're actually showing up and supporting me and reassuring me in that way, not just through your words, but also through actions. And then being able to set everything up on kind of an auto pay system.
Oh, you got damn specific there. You like auto pay. Like
that's always been something that I've desired. Like,
yes.
my life is just kind of the financial part of my life is kind of on auto pay, and it's taken care of. Like, I don't have to think about it. It's paid, and there's overflow in the bank. So once it's paid, I don't have to worry about it, you know? I desire that kind of financial security.
So when you're actually saying, so you are paid, not it, you're paid. Yeah, you're paid. All right. Okay, very good. Thank you. Bex, unmute yourself, Miss Bex. Miss Sage Comesso.
I just keep changing names because it's so much fun. First of all, it's Rosa, was my daughter, right? Sage is her best friend. So everybody's on this computer. So I'm sorry, I keep changing. So it's so good to be here. And you know, Mercury is a little bit in retrograde right now because of my technical hitches, but I'm getting there. Right.
So a little bit in retrograde, a little bit. It's so freaking in retrograde right now. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to go on a bike ride if I couldn't, get on today because I was getting a little bit frustrated. But my thing that makes me feel safe is basically I'm doing the same thing as you, creating and building my foundation, my daily practices, organization of my time to do my inner work and my assignments, lots of time by myself, and no pressure from other people.
Ooh. Oh, that helps you. Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm such a codependent, so therefore, like the needs of others, like really play into me develop, making a structure for myself.
Yes, sure, totally. Very good. Excellent. Okay, look, here are my four needs. I need home, right? I need to feel like I'm at home and home. And home for me is not just four walls, but it actually means heart. Home and heart are synonymous. So feeling safe within my heart, like no matter where I go, if I'm staying in an Airbnb or if I'm in a hotel or if I'm in my own place, I want to feel like I'm at home. And this has been a challenge for me for my adult life. I've always I've felt at home with my mother, but the moment I left my mother's house is when I never felt safe at home. I actually felt there were things that were uncomfortable or that just didn't feel welcoming, and that's partially because I felt safe in the anger. My mom had a lot of anger, and so and she also had a lot of structure. So my mom had anger and structure, so I'm used to a home. I feel at home when there is anger and structure. And so when I left my mother's home, I uh did not have that, and so it was really hard for me to be in balance, because it wasn't like, oh, you have your own space, you get to actually create your own home. I didn't learn that until recently. It's just within the last couple of years that I've understood that home is actually loving and playful and friendly and nurturing. So now I have that, and the thing is, since I don't have my own home, my own space, I've had to create that within my own heart. So a lot of my time is spent making sure that I find comfort within myself, and bringing that with me wherever I go. So now I'm getting closer to home. But the other thing that I have is connection to life and God, but not just through my dialogues with God, but through my relationships with other people. So I feel safe when I have connection to other people, and there's a natural flow of love in my relationships, like my relationship with my dog. Like that helps me feel connected to God, and that helps me feel safe. Like I look at my dog, I think, God, he's so cute, and then I'm like, oh, thank you, God. That helps me feel like I'm safe, like God is with me. God gave me a dog. He gave me good housemates. I live in a place where my housemates are really warm and friendly, and that makes me feel safe. Also, I feel safe when my mind is sharp and clear. And right now, with this Mercury retrograde, I don't fucking feel safe. I feel unfucking safe. And this is a problem. I can't sit down to create a program when I don't feel safe. I cannot go exercise when I don't feel safe. I can't make healthy food choices when I don't feel safe. And this is all the safety that really stems from my mind. So right now, I don't feel safe in my mind, so I am making bad food choices. I can't sleep well at night. I can't do these things that are right for myself and right for my business, and that scares me even more. It brings up even more fear, and so it becomes a really bad cycle. Christina, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how any of y'all be you cancers. Oh my God, my beloved cancers, I'm so sorry. You guys need so much support and nurturing, because this shit is crazy up in here and it doesn't end. You're gonna be a cancer all your life, girl. Oh, but still, of course, cancers are beautiful, beautiful people, even though you guys, have all these things going on, some of my dearest friends are cancers. The important people in my life are cancers. I just, I've never really understood what they've gone through. And it's tough. It's not an easy way to be. It's not an easy way to be. And then the last thing for me is health and exercise. When um, I feel safe when I'm exercising. I feel safe when I'm exercising. If I can exercise on a regular basis, that can do a lot to make me feel powerful and like I can be accomplished in the world. Okay, so the reason I want you to write this down is because I feel like it's really important that you all do what you need to get what you need. Okay, I need you to do what you need so that you can get what you need to feel safe. Now, Susan, you need to be in Croatia to feel safe. I need you to do something about that because you're not in Croatia.
Mhm.
So you deserve safety now. So understanding what it is about Croatia, that gives you a feeling of safety, seeing what you can do to bring that to you right now. Even if it's getting yourself like spending time in the tea shop, I think that is really, really healthy. And I know that tea shop, you are probably choosing it because it feels right, right? It feels good for you. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I think that maybe
Yeah.
um, whatever you can do to bring a bit of Croatia to you, a practice that you had in Croatia. Like you're in a cute apartment that makes you feel good. I think that's really helpful. But whatever you can do to bring the essence of Croatia to you now so that you can start to move forward with all the other things you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. And this goes as well for Sage. I love that your daughter's name is Rose and her best friend is named Sage. Like,
Rosa. Rosa. Rosa.
oh, Rosa, sorry. Rosa, Rosa and Sage are best friends. Like
Yeah.
Parsley,
Yeah.
Sage, Rosemary,
Yeah.
Daddy.
Rosa Maria, Rosa Maria, and time, a time. Okay, parsley, a sage, rosemary, and a time. Okay, you guys get my point. I think that's cute as hell, man.
It is cute.
Um, um, what I want you all to do right now is to look at your lists, and I want you all to write down how you can give yourself a sense of this now. Okay, how you can give yourselves a sense of this now. Cora, I'm glad you're here. Have you written down 4 things? I don't know. Um, Cora, unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Maybe, I wonder if you can even hear me. Yes.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, darling.
Okay, good. Yeah, my computer's acting crazy this morning. That's why I left my video off because you guys are like choppy. So I figured I'd be choppy too.
That's the way
Hi
to do
guys.
it.
I hope everyone's doing well.
Thank you. We are doing well now. Now that we have you here, we are really, things have kicked up a notch. Okay. So look, Cora, so what we're doing is we've written down 4 things we need to make ourselves feel safe. All right. And so I need you to write those 4 things down. And then the next step that we're all doing now is writing down for each of those things how we can give ourselves what we need now to give us these 4 things, what we can do to bring a bit of this into our lives right now. Okay? Got it?
Okay,
All right, darling.
got it.
Go ahead and do that, and then we'll check in just a few seconds. How are you all doing? You guys are done already? Okay, that took me a long time to write out my list, and I was like rushing. I still didn't finish. All right. So Susan, what are some of the things that you can do now to help you create this sense of safety within yourself?
This is going to sound horrible, but logging off from everything and just reading. And because right now, some people have posted that I need help getting across the border because they were thought, and I wrote really kindly, like, hey, if you have a verified way that's actually verified, please post this. But everybody's like, oh, she should take a bus. Oh, she can get a transport. Oh, she can do this. And then they're sending me all stuff that is not working. And so I'm trying to be very gracious and thanking everybody, but it's fucking annoying. And then there's a whole discussion right now that is, she needs to get here by midnight because they're changing all the things. I mean, I would just hire a ride, even if it costs $1,000. She should just get a ride because she needs to be here before midnight. Because, well, and so they're just stressing me out.
Yeah, look,
I cannot get there before midnight.
What I hear you saying is that you are establishing boundaries with how people can tell you information. I do this all the time on Facebook. I would get in a lot of trouble because I would be very much, very much like I'd ask for advice and I'd be very specific with my advice. And I'd say very specifically, just like you said, this must be an Aquarius thing. Like, please, I'm looking for verified answers, verified responses. Like, don't give me your baloney. Don't give me something you've heard. Give me something So I think I can really empathize with you, Susan.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. All right.
I totally and utterly, I mean, I appreciate the empathy. And
Okay.
I think we're on the same path with that. It's like,
Yeah.
no matter how, I feel like no matter how clear you are with Facebook, people are lovely and they want to help, but they don't understand that going, oh, my cousin's friend found a transport service. Maybe I can find that. That's not helpful.
No, and it's more annoying than anything, especially when you're under stress.
It's more annoying, especially for Aquarians, I've discovered. My friends are like, oh, it's so Aquarian. And I'm like,
now, do you feel like you want to, can you tell us the other things? Like, so you've got that for that, drawing that boundary is one way. What about for some of your other things? What else did you put down? What else did you write?
well, I just, I'm gonna talk to my friend where I'm gonna be staying to make sure that she can verify that I could do quarantine in the apartment. I don't have to go to a government facility.
Okay.
And that if I could pay her and get all the supplies needed for when I arrive.
Fantastic. That's really good. Yeah. Great. Very good. So those things will help give you a sense of safety.
Yes.
Right now, in the now. The key is to get it in the now, right? So that when you get it, you can move forward, right?
Correct.
All right, very good. Christina, what about for you? What about for you and your 4 things? What 4 things can you do, or a couple, whatever many you have, what can you do to give you those safety and those things?
I can continue the prosperity work that I've been doing, which makes me feel really good and help to develop a trust in myself and developing my intuition so that I'm, using my intuition and using that to make decisions.
Yeah.
Not out of fear, but out of, a genuine aligned intuition.
Totally.
Keep taking slow, fun, aligned steps in business. So, the things that I've been doing to, really transform to be able to scale my business to a level that I've never operated at before. I've been given steps along the way. And as I'm taking them, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know where this is going, but I'm just doing it anyway because it feels like the right thing to do.
Yes.
So just kind of continuing to follow that and trust it, that's kind of the
Yes.
connection to the first one. Like, well, do I trust this? Should I do that? That whole worry spiral. So
Very good.
yeah. And then giving the support that I want to receive,
Oh,
which, you know, I feel like I do this anyway, but I feel like in the past, maybe it hasn't quite come back the way I wanted it to.
mm,
But it makes me feel like I'm giving my heart and doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I give the support to other people. It's just
totally.
who I am is
Yeah.
the support.
Do you think that is there an issue of receptivity? Like, is it there? Like, are you pushing it away subconsciously in this thing? Okay.
I think there are
Okay.
definitely times when I have trouble receiving. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Excellent. Very good. You all are, it sounds, I mean, it sounds like you have a really nice understanding of what your needs are. And it sounds like you're doing some stuff, and it sounds like you're making some shifts, like,
Big ones.
yeah, it sounds, because I mean, when we talked before, there was a lot. This is the first time I've heard you say, I'm doing these things that are random, and I've been doing them, and I'm trusting along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Beautiful. I think
That,
that's,
that
I
book,
think that's it.
the abundance book, like
Yeah.
when I actually took the time to read it instead of like, I'm going to do this 40-day thing because I want to manifest, like I actually, I sat down in one morning and read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it has really just shifted the way I do life completely.
I'm so glad.
It's
I'm
such
so
a
glad to
shift.
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same thing for me. It showed me that what it means to be the divine feminine.
Mhm.
Because to me, he's basically saying, stop trying to do so much and understand that that's not what it's about. Like, we're raised that this is what it's about, but that's actually the exact opposite of what it's about. Like, it's actually about being surrendered to God and letting God flow through you and your choices and your
Mhm.
business, and what program am I going to run, not based on money but based on love, and
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. Who am I going to hire? Not based on how much I can afford, but really based on what I need and
Yep.
what I'm being led to.
Yep.
It's not easy, but it's super powerful what you're doing. So I commend you on it, and I wish you luck also, because you know well, it changes everything, but it's also, it's a commitment. And other people are going to look and say, like, this can't be because of this, that, and the other. And they just don't
Mhm.
get it. They're just over here in this paradigm. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to be over here in this paradigm doing it my way.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember I was in Paris, I was in France, and I was really, really nervous because I was overstaying my boundary, the visa, right? I was there on a tourist visa, and so you get 3 months on a tourist visa, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this right. I don't want to be here beyond my 3 months, because then I'm going to mess up my visa, my passport. I'm gonna have all these bad marks, and when I'm ready to settle, it's gonna be all fucked up. And it was a real story. It was a real story. It was so 3D. And Spirit said, sit still, just stay, you're fine. And the thing that Spirit kept telling me is, you are always safe in France. This is your home. You are always safe here. You don't ever have to leave. That's what Spirit told me, right? And I thought, Spirit, you crazy. Of course I have to leave. And so what did I do? I got on a bus and I went overnight to the United Kingdom. And I got to the border at the United Kingdom, and they turned me away. They said, go back to where you came from. They would not fucking let me into the UK. And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm stuck here because I don't have any money to, fly back to the US. I guess I just wasted a bus ticket and, a bus ticket. I wasted $25 I didn't have. Okay. That was my food money. Broken Europe. I love it. An American broken Europe is just awesome. It's the best if you're going to be broke anywhere, be a broke American in Europe. Okay. But then I came back, and sure enough, when it was time for me to go to my next destination where I calmed down, I'm like, okay, just listen to spirit, listen, listen, listen. Going back to those principles that you're talking about, Christina, what I found was that, when I left the border, and when I left where there were no problems whatsoever, when I went when spirit told me to, where spirit told me, had no issues whatsoever. And then when I came back into France, I was greeted by, these very cute border crossing agents that were like, hey, welcome home. I'm like, oh my God, did you actually say that to me? Did you actually say the words welcome home to my American passport? Do you not understand that this is not a French passport? But they were talking to my soul, because the point is that spirit doesn't lie. These feelings that we have, if we choose to investigate them, we will learn that these are very real spirits. This is real love, this is real guidance, and it's meant for us. So very good. I'm glad you're tuning in to the power of you, Christina. Very good. All right, Sage Comesso.
Okie dokie.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your ways of being safe.
Well, I'm going to I've already started to get up early. I thought your course was at 10 this morning. So I want to I'm good. And it was at 11, of course, I got it wrong. So 10. So I'm getting up at 6:30. I'm structuring time for my homework assignments.
Yes.
And what I want, because I want to learn much more about astrology. You've got me so into, the moon cycles, and I'm I can see how amazing and helpful that is to have a much greater understanding of myself, but as well, much more greater understanding and forgiving for others. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter how you get to understand a person, just about any way in is great. So I want to do that, and I want to do a layout. That's why I love the air table, because I've got Mercury in Virgo and I've got Moon in Virgo. So I need my air table, baby. If I can work that out, of course, if my technical genius is going to come through. Anyway,
you will figure it out.
My daily schedule, and yeah, just do what I've been doing. I've been building this foundation and like creating safety through my meditation practice, my breathing practice, my biking, doing things that are fun and joyful, and swimming. And I'm very similar to you. Everything that makes you feel safe makes me feel safe. And just being on track with everything, just makes me feel safe and good. And I love, and I just creating the order. The thing about relationship for me, I'm kind of like a bit stuck on that one, because it's not like I don't create these situations and get myself into these situations, but I get myself into situations where I kind of feel obligated to people, and I feel like they're gonna, I'm going to, I don't know what's going to happen to me if I don't do what they need me to do and be there for them. So that's really scary for me. I'm a little kid right now in that one. I'm kind of like, well, I can't tell them that I'm doing this times for me. I can tell them that. But it's like, I still feel guilty as shit. And taking this amount of time for myself, because I really do feel that this is my year for creating a very strong foundation for what's to come. And it's so important to me, and it really matters. But then that's still, that thing is like the other person, because of their situation, conditions, they're much more in need than me. So I feel it's like I probably need a little bit of help with that one, because I'm still a scared little kid with that. So that's everything else I can do on my own. Everything I have to do for myself, I can structure, I can organize. It's just when the people thing, and my children are being amazing at the moment. They're doing their own thing. My daughter's 16, so she's hanging out with her friends anyway, and my son's very sociable, so they're really giving me a lot of space. But there's things I get obsessed about, like having to take care of a certain friendship. And you know, you've worked with me before, and I just, it turns me inside out, upside down, inside, you know. So I do know I have to work on that. That's my main thing, I think, my
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, wonderful. Look, Bex, I really, you know, everything you're saying makes so much sense. And I feel like there's a real, you know, I feel like I still, even to this day, get safety in pleasing other people, right? Like I get safety in getting positive feedback from other people, you know? And again, I really want to be like just a solid woman who just does her own thing, who relies really on herself. And for the most part, you know, it's true. I am my own woman, but it is amazing to me how there's a part of me that still really wants other people to be happy, not just with themselves, but with me, you know? And I have to fight this on a regular basis, and I do fight it. I believe it's a good fight because what I feel like I'm doing when I fight against that part of myself is that I'm advocating for my own kind of divine uniqueness. Like I'm crazy. I get mad sometimes. I fly off the handle. Whereas before, that used to make me really want to hide. I'd want to hide that part of myself. Now I'm like, you know what? Look, I fly off the handle. I need you to be able to love me with it. I'm not gonna hurt you. You know, you might not like what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna just like I expect to be loved because I'm gonna love you if you fly off the handle, right? I'm not gonna let you hurt me, but I am gonna hold space for you while you're flying off the handle. So what I find is that I'm attracting more people who are willing to hold space for me while I fly off the handle. And that lets me give them more. You know, I want to be a better friend to people who are being such a good friend to me. I think maybe Christina was saying a little bit of this. It's like, you know, she gives so much to people and she doesn't feel like they're able to give her what she needs when she needs it, right? And so this would be like, you know, for her, it would be really rewarding for someone to kind of be able to reciprocate to her, like when she's down or feeling broken or something, for someone to be able to say, hey, actually, I'm gonna put this aside. I have something that I've got going on, but I'm gonna put that aside because I want to give you what you need. You know, I want to be there for you. Like my best friend does that shit for me. You know, if I send her, she can read my tone. If I send her a message that says, I'm not well, she's like, okay, look, everything stopped. The kids stop, everything stops. And she's like, okay, give me 5 minutes. You know, I get an instant response back. That is love to me. That is like, that is how you love me, you know, and I have to make sure I do that for her too. So, Bex, it sounds to me like you are creating this situation. You're creating a new consciousness within yourself. The universe is going to catch up and it's going to reflect to you that new consciousness. Either your old friends are going to get on board or you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of new friends who are coming to you and loving you in a way that you need to be loved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Bex. Wonderful. All right, Cora Moore, Cora Moore, Cora Moore, Cora Moore.
I'm here.
There she is. There she is. Hi. So you got to tell us your four. Why don't you tell us your need for security, for feeling safe, and tell us how you're going to give it to yourself. Because
Oh, well,
we haven't heard your list yet, right? We haven't heard your list.
right. Oh,
Okay.
well, I guess, for me, of course, it's just basic Maslow. I need that food, water, and shelter to be able to feel safe, right? And at this time last year, I really didn't have that. I mean, and it's because of money. And of course, that's another thing we all need to feel safe and to have those other needs met. And, last year at this time, I really was in such a different headspace and just does such a different physical space as far as those things go. So I am a little happy to know that I'm at least able to meet those needs now and not stress up so much about that. But that still doesn't account for like when things go wrong in life and you got to find that extra stuff that you need. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I told you guys, but on top of all the craziness dealing with my sisters and my mother, my husband wrecked his car last week. And so we've had to scrounge to find money he's okay. Luckily nobody got hurt.
Okay.
But so, we had to come up with money to get a new car. And now my kidney infection is over and the dentist is telling me it's going to be like $34,000 to get my teeth fixed because I have an infection.
34,000?
Not thousand. Sorry. 100. Sorry. That's how bad I am with math. My bad. No, just 3400.
Okay, much more palatable. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. And so,
Okay.
so for me, it's that. It's knowing I have, I guess, just that emotional kind of support. So like, I can call my sisters and be like, oh my God, this is what's going on in my life. And then just being the proactive person that I am, I'm a goat, you guys, we don't stop, we push forward no matter what. And just not freaking out and pushing forward. That to me is kind of something that helps me
You're a
stay
ram.
safe.
Excuse me, you're a ram.
Yeah.
You're cloven-footed beast, and you are a ram. Cora's like, look,
Great.
nothing's stopping me. I ain't afraid of nothing. Just give me some food, shelter. I will spit out a business. I will make life happen.
I'm telling you, I believe. I'm telling you, it's true. I believe it, and I'm starting to believe it more because I'm definitely starting to just trust in myself and trust in life more, and that definitely helps me feel more safe and secure.
Good.
And then, of course, I just need the animals and nature. That's what makes me feel the most safe and secure of anything.
Yes, absolutely. Very good, Cora. Yeah,
Isn't it funny? Some people, because I worked in archaeology so much, and I've ran into so many people who are so scared to be out in the woods, just scared to be out in the woods, scared to be away from other people. And that really is the place I feel the safest. I'm like, no, I know what's out here. I know that, it's going to be a wild animal or something that will compromise my safety. And like, but that's where I feel most safe. So, I need that. I need that sanctuary so I can go out and feel safe than dealing with people in society.
Exactly. Yeah, Cora, I'm right there with you. And so thank you very much. For my list, I put for home, so that I can have that feeling of home. What I've done is I've invested a couple $1,000s in some essential oils.
I love that. I love it. You're embracing your inner Taurus.
Fuck it. Exactly. I don't even care. I'm like, you know what? $2,000 on some really high grade essential oils is going to help me feel like I've got nature with me. It's going to help me feel like I have plant energy with me. I'm going to feel like I've got focus. I'm going to have everything I need. So I've got my essential oils, and I also found that bringing in my meditation and yoga, bringing that back, even though I don't like doing either one of them. Right now, I'm very resistant to meditation. I'm very resistant to yoga. I'm bringing them back anyway because they do give me a sense of home. It helps me feel at home in my body. It helps me feel at home in my mind. So fuck it, I'm gonna do it for myself because that's what I need. then for this connection to life through relationships, I realized that I need to talk to my friends. I realized that I need to also be social. So I go to the dog park. I'm going to keep being social at the dog park, you know? And I used to, back home, I would, go to the dog park, take my computer and do some work. And I'd socialize a little bit and work a little bit. And here I'm just doing nothing but socializing, and it's good. And the sharp mind, this morning, I realized that I needed caffeine. So I gave myself caffeine, and that sharpened up my mind in a very beautiful way. I made myself a nice cup of real hot cocoa using real cocoa with real sugar and almond milk. And it was delicious and it was so nurturing. And it got me calm and it got my mind focused. All of a sudden, I'm like, boom, 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 right? And walking in nature, as a few of you have said, Cora definitely loves that. I know Bex definitely needs nature. So having that, and then for the health and the exercise, just getting up, running without an agenda. Even if I get up and just run for a mile, okay, fine. Doing my walks, even if I have to take a walk in the 100-degree heat, I need to go out and walk. Even if I have to leave the dog home, the dog cannot handle the heat. And what I've been doing, because I feel guilty, is I won't walk because the dog can't walk. And that is not okay. I need to go out even if it's 100 degrees. I love walking in 100-degree heat. When I've got water, I'm hydrated, I can go out there and I can walk for an hour, no problem. I need to do that for myself because that's going to help me feel right. All right. Boom. Ladies, I think that probably needs to be about it for today, but I want to check in with you. Cora, you had a question. You had a question that you've been thinking about over the course of the week. What was that question?
I've been thinking about the idea of investors and just
Right.
what's the best paths as to, going and trying to make that possible. Because as far as the place we're at right now, it is just a rental. And so, I don't know if we're going to buy it or if, move somewhere else, but definitely as far as business goes, I am looking into those options of, maybe having another place and things like that. And then just, basic investor things of keeping the bills paid and keeping the animals fed and healthy, because that's important too.
Okay, so I've got a question for you. Where is your business plan?
Well, I have my PowerPoint that I shared with you guys. That is what I have as far as my business plan goes. And then I have a bunch of notes that I need to get in a written up form. So I got a bunch of stuff scattered about as far as my business plan goes.
Okay, so that is the first thing you need, is a solid business plan. And Cora, as much as I am a heart-centered entrepreneur and I totally believe in following your heart, the Virgo moons, all the Virgo moons on the call, let's see a show of hands. Hey, okay. You need to organize the fuck out of your business, okay? The fact is, if you want to thrive and if you want anybody to give you money, you need to show them that you have thought through every aspect of your business. I am happy to help you do that. This is exactly what I do. This is exactly what I'm good at. I believe, girl, Cora, you want money to manifest instantly? You put down your business plan. Can anybody else attest to the power of a business plan? Virgos in the house. All right. Okay. Christina, you don't have a business plan?
I think business plans are great in Cora's case when you want someone is actively trying to give you money and you need to be able to show them like a thing. But what I have found in dealing with entrepreneurs is we think that we have to have this business plan and we can't move forward without a business plan. So I don't have a business plan in that sense. I have organization. And I think knowing you being clear on your business is what's necessary. I think a business plan is more so like in Cora's situation where you need someone to actively give you money, or
Yes.
have to have other people really involved in the financial aspect of your business. Other than that, I don't really believe in business plans.
Okay, got you.
Organization is important, but I think too many people get tripped up thinking they have to have this 20-page business plan. I can't start my business until I have this business plan, and that's just not true.
Yeah, okay, I totally disagree. So for me, a business plan is what every entrepreneur needs and what every business needs. 95% of all businesses fail within the first 5 years of being in business. And that is just based on statistics. I've watched people be in business. I've had a brick and mortar business. I've run $1 million businesses. Fucking make a business plan, okay? And it doesn't have to be 20 pages of elaborate stuff, but what a business plan does is it allows you to sit down with yourself and to draw to take your ideas and take responsibility for them and to put them to numbers. It can be one page. Your business plan can be one page. Cora, you have brick and mortar. It's a different story for you. Okay.
Right.
You need a much more significant and elaborate business plan. For people like me, where everything is online. But the fact is, in order for me to be making $250,000 a year, I need a business plan. When I was making up to $100,000 a year, okay, I could have been following my heart and doing all that. But the moment you start making more money, and in order to get your, to control your money and to get your stuff funneled to where you need it, and you need a vision, and you need to take responsibility for all the stuff. And now, okay, so that's just in general. For you, Cora, you need a business plan. Okay, we need to talk, okay,
Right.
about how you're going to set up your business plan. You and I will talk about that, but we have to do that not right now. But
Right.
that's the first thing. So don't worry about an investor right now. Worry about a business plan. One of the first things that you can start doing is to just simply visualize what it is that it is that you want to do with your business, and then start writing it down in one place. Airtable. Okay.
Yeah, I told you I started getting in there.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
barely started with it though.
Okay, so we can do your business plan totally in Airtable, and I can help you with all that. And anybody else who wants to consider a business plan, I can help you do that. But the first thing you must do is get the philosophy down on paper. You must get the numbers down on paper. You must get the outgo. You must get the budget on paper. You must do this, Cora. You have to get all your suppliers down on paper for your for your, like,
Yeah.
where you're getting your feed, for your animals. And you've got to figure out how to get the best pricing on all that. And in order to know if you're getting the best pricing, you have to have record of what you've done already. So you've got the financial aspects of your business. So everything that you've spent money on for the last year needs to be downloaded into a spreadsheet, so that you know how much you've spent, right? And then on top of it all, there's so much. Like, don't even get me started, because it is a lot. And it should be fun, because this is where your energy is going. Every dollar that you've spent, that's your energy, right? And so
Right.
what we're going to do is basically look at where you've been putting your energy, put that into a format where you can see, oh, this is how all my energy has been spent this year, and then you get to say, well, I'd like to spend my energy next year doing this. So this is what the business plan is going to help you do. Then, of course, the really fun part is, like, how am I going to generate money? Like, what are the different wonderful and fun things that I can bring to my farm that are going to bring people here and get them excited, And then there's the online aspect and the website. Honey, you need a business plan. Don't get me started. You need a business plan. So you contact me, we'll figure out like how we're going to set that up and then talk about it. Okay. Cause that is a huge thing for you. You are brick and mortar. You are not like Susan and Christina and I, where, you know, we can have instant manifestation of things that are very, very powerful, and we can have it instantly for very little money. For you, you've got to do the energetic, and you've got to bring that shit to form, right?
Right.
Because that feed for those animals, that's real, like that's
Right.
material. So, you know, Susan, Christina, and I can have an idea, and we'd be like, oh, let's make that happen. We can have that up in a week, and we don't have to pay a dime for it. You know, our ideas, web page, you know, a program. We can put a program. We can put together a 3-month program on a website, and it doesn't cost us a dime. You know, for you, a 3-month program means you're going to have to bring people there. You're going to have insurance. You're going to
Yeah.
have to like have all these things. Woo, you know, you're going to have people, you know, answering the phone because,
Yeah.
you know, this matters. So you're going to have employees. You're going to have taxes, stuff. Okay. Business plans, sister. That's how you get an investor.
Okay. Well, I am I will get all my stuff together and start trying to actually put it all on. I'll start putting it in my Airtable.
That's it, sweetheart. And then from there, you will go. You will pull out your Airtable, and your investors will be like, "What? What is this thing that you have here in this? What is this Airtable?"
Nice. That's what I want. I want him to be impressed, because I don't want him to look at my credit and be like, you're crap as far as credit goes. To be like, no, don't focus on the past. Focus
Yeah.
on now and the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So good. I like
Exactly.
it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, sweetheart. Is there anything else business-wise you guys want to talk about before we hang up? Anything you need to get you through the next week? Nope, y'all are good. Excellent. All right. So look, thanks for joining today. And I think that I want to just leave you with the imperative to give yourself safety. How about 4 days of feeling safe? Okay, so we had the number 4 rest and rejuvenation card. We're in the 4-year. What is today's date, by the way? Today is
May 4th.
June 24th. So it's 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. Is that right?
I don't know. That's a lot of math.
I know. Shoot, let me do it again. So 6 plus 2 is 8.
Like, wait a minute, what? You lost me.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so today is a 7-day. It's a 7-day, but we are going to focus on the number 4. Look at that. I look at my chat. I just looked down. It says chat 4. Like there are 4 chats in here. That's hilarious. The number 4. So for 4 days, we need to focus on feeling safe. All right. Emphasis 4. All right. Boom. All right, everybody. So thanks for joining. And I look forward to catching up with you all Sunday in the group. All right. And whenever else we catch up. Whenever. All right. Oh, by the way, the curriculum is coming along just fine. It's going to be slow, though, because I'm still working. I just created another module. I don't know. Just sitting here going with the flow, doing what I'm told to do. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.